We have an illustrious history, but it has been hidden. For hundreds of years, we've had people teaching us things that are in contrast with the truth. Now that we have the internet and social media and things like that, the truth is surfacing. What are you going to do? You're going to keep upholding the lies, sending your children to be consumed by lies, or are you going to accept the truth and reconstruct your thought process? Because the truth is stranger than fiction, people. With close examination, you will come to find that the person that's called the African American has been under the greatest psychological operation on earth. Take a good look at this picture. To the far left, you see the original person of the land of Mexico, which was called a Mexican. This is the original people of the land, the Negro. But as you can see, it was some other people to come in, the Spaniard conquistadors. And as you can see, this woman to the far left, the Negro, already has a mestizo child, a mixed child with Spaniards. And this is what's been taking place on this land. They had babies by the original indigenous American, and those babies were called anchor babies. It ties them to the land. That's how they originally got tied to the land and was able to create their own little sub-tribe and take over the culture. It's by those babies, the anchor babies, that end up turning on mama. They turned on the Negro tribes and made their own sub-tribes and intermixed amongst themselves till we have what we call the Mexican of today. Because what would happen is the half-breed child would grow up inside more with the European side of his family and mix with them. And that's how we got the subculture that usurped us from the anchor babies. Once they became a child of the Negro mother, they was a part of the tribes. And then they started whitewashing all of our images and making them into pale people. You see this? This is the original picture to the left and the two whitewashed pictures to the right. They whitewashed every image of us. This is another one. That's the whitewashed one to the left. That's the original one to the right. There's no way you can't tell that the one to the right is the more ancient one. This is what happened on this land. And these people walk around and criticize us for trying to restore our history. This guy to the right, this is one of the main people that's been criticizing us for years. I had many arguments with this guy. But he's a person that knows the truth because his parent is a mestizo, a dark Spaniard, Mexican. This to the left is the original Mexican that was in the land from, we could trace it back to 250 BC. This guy tells us we Africans and that we're not the true Americans when his mother or his grandmother, whoever this woman is to him, is a person that was born to a parent that's to the right. Like I was explaining earlier, the Negro parent that started having children by the Spaniard conquistadors, and then they children started having more children by the Spaniard conquistadors, and we had a sub race, a sub tribe that emerged on the land. And these are the people we still dealing with today. 500-600 years is a very long time. And we were the people they was dealing with from the beginning.
The uppercut. He's going down. She wouldn't even clean me.
Déjalo, güero. What's your problem, ese?
I paid for a full load, man.
Don't worry, we'll take care of business.
Word. Sick motherfucker.
Make sure he gets what he ordered right now.
Simon. Thank you. I fucking appreciate that, man.
Hook up this wire. Some fucking mayate. He's dead. Make sure nothing happens to these guards. Órale. Sí. Cuídamelos. Órale. Haven't started to kill each other yet. They're still throwing shit.
What you're looking at here at the top is an excerpt from the Christopher Columbus book. And at the bottom, it's a painting of Christopher Columbus returning to Spain. And he had American Indians with him. Take a look at them. It's been well documented that the Spaniard conquistadors from Spain came to the land of America and reconstructed what we would call today Mexico. They set up a caste system, a racial caste system on the land that still stands to this day. And we're going to go over this caste system because this is public information, but it's not being taught to you in the public school systems because we have a lot of teachers that come from these various bloodlines that we're breaking down here today, that I've been showing you people that came to this land. And they put the American, the true American, the nigger, the Negro, the so-called African American, they put them at the bottom of society because this is the true landlord of all lands of America that you're staring at on the screen here. This is the true indigenous American, the autochthonous American. Look at these people. They all have locks. These the same people walking the streets of all lands of America today in a stupor. They don't know who they are. Let's look at this caste system that was set up on this land. As you can see here, there are 16 different categories of people that you can see on this depiction here. There are 4 rows of 4 that makes up 16 different categories. But the thing I want you to notice is at the very bottom, that's where you see us, the people that you would call an African American today. They didn't even count you in the categories. They only counted the categories of people that had been mixed either with them or the African, or them and us. They had to be in the picture somewhere for the person to get counted in society, when these are the people that the society was built on. These are the very people that have been bamboozled into believing that they are African Americans today, when in fact you are the most ancient of this land. Your grandparents are the people that they did these atrocities to, were your great-great-great-great-grandparents. 5 generations ago, 5 grandparents ago, these things were taking place that we're reading about here. The average grandparent lives to be 80 or 90 years old in our time. So if you go back 6 grandparents, you're talking about these things that we're reading about right here. That's about 500 years ago. If you go back 6 grandparents, you're talking about the 1500s. Think about that. I want you to really think about that. If you went back 6 sets of grandparents and they only lived to be 80 years old, our grandparents, and we went back 6 sets of grandparents, that's 480 years ago. These are our people that we're talking about in these excerpts that we read in here. But it takes a person who can reconstruct that thinking to accept this. It takes a person that can unlearn and relearn to accept this, because you've been taught lies by the very people that stole your identity away. And we supposed to be sitting on our hands and being quiet about this, when this is a great atrocity. It's actually the greatest atrocity on planet Earth. Name another race of people who have been tricked and bamboozled and their identity taken away, and they've been given a misnomer identity. It's only one race of people on the earth that has went through this, and you're looking at them on the screen. It's you, the so-called African American, who ain't African.
Now, go on with your story now. What are you saying? The Comanches attacked?